Hey, it's Wes with Marsh Tacky Carbon. We appreciate you watching this video. And what we want to do with this video is do a comparison of our current internally rigged carbon fiber outriggers versus former. So in 2015, this is our original design. We've got a stainless pulley housing with a self-lubricating wheel, and we've got a stainless tip. This is actually a 2016 outrigger that was traded in to us. So you can see it's doing pretty well, pretty good shape. A little bit dirty, some abrasion going on here. But this is a 6-year-old carbon fiber outrigger, and you can see how it's doing. We lifetime warranty our products, and so from a design standpoint, we're coming at these things a bit differently from other folks on the market, you could say. We see 1-year warranties. I think I've seen a 3-year warranty, but needless to say, lifetime warranty on ours. We have a different approach to our design and a different approach to our customer service. So getting back on topic. We call these the Pro internals. We changed our tip design when we went to our Super internal about mid-2017. But we also went to the spread toe carbon fiber. We changed modulus a little bit. We went to a little bit leaner carbon fiber build. And what I mean by leaner is similar to when you hear discussion of polyester or vinyl ester resins or epoxies and in a laminate structure in the boat building world. Leaner would mean less resin and more strength from your material that you're using the resin to bind together. So these are laminate. They're made of a number of plies of a certain material. The material can have different characteristics in a carbon fiber tubular structure like this, just like the layup schedule in a boat's construction, a fiberglass boat that is construction, can be varied based on what material it is and also the orientation. You know, how is that material angled? So that dictates how this structure will ultimately perform when it's finally laminated together. So original outrigger, changed our tip design, changed our exterior here, a little bit nicer looking, some could say, but we just wanted to differentiate it. And this is a stronger and a stiffer pole than this. So that being the case, same approach. We took it to another level again. We probably went to a 30% stiffer pole in 2017. 2022, another increase in stiffness and in strength, somewhere in the range of 35 to 40% in each of those categories. But you can also see that you have stainless steel halyard interface hardware here. Or halyard control system is stainless steel, and it is riveted in. Now, thanks to our friends at Spectore Titanium, we have a machine from billet titanium halyard exit, and that is a machine from billet halyard exit pulley. Nothing in these can go wrong. There are no ball bearings. Nothing needs to be serviced or maintained whatsoever. So this is our new flagship model. It's called Super Titanium Internal. We refer to them as the XT as opposed to the X, which was its predecessor. You can see there's a bit of a diameter increase, and you also have a 1/4 20 titanium screw that you can remove, add all sorts of things, but the most anticipated thing would be to add a GoPro mount or action camera mount to the tip of your outrigger to get footage of what's happening boat side. While you're fishing, especially in tournaments, that type of footage can become critical, and needless to say, it also will help those of you who are interested in creating content for social media. So, we also, due to the cost increase of going to this type of carbon fiber and this type of machined titanium throughout this pole, and I'll show you the rest of the pole in a moment, this price range or this price point substantially increased from these. We've got inflation, we've got all that stuff that other folks in the market already, you know, they've responded to, they've gone up on the price. And we looked at the market and we said, if we're gonna go up on price and we're gonna give you a much better product. We already had feedback of hundreds of people saying, hey, you know, what if you did this? What if you did that? You know, what if it wasn't riveted? You know, this is 316 stainless, but it still stains if you, you know, depending on how it's maintained and what chemicals come in contact with it, you know, it can either stain less, hence the name stain less, or it can actually stain more. And believe it or not, that was the genesis for basically an inert material that also happens to be lighter, but this will never stain, never rust, won't oxidize. It's gonna look the same. You know, we've had them on boats for a couple months and they literally look the same as when they leave here. So it can be repolished just like stainless can be. It can be anodized as well. So you can get some custom features in these as well if you're interested in that. But because of the price jump to get to this new Super Titanium internal versus the old Super internal and versus certainly the Pro internal, we came out with what we call a light internal. And it's a very efficient design. You can see we've got a Delrin wheel, self-lubricating. We've got a plastic UV-resistant tip. It's more or less UV-proof, you know, but technically it's UV-resistant. But that saves weight, saves cost, all that good stuff, you know. But performance-wise, there is no drop in performance for this pole versus our original. This pole is actually stronger than our original pole. So we didn't go backwards with anything. We just simply gave you a mid-tier along with the way overbuilt bulletproof top tier. The name light titanium, we were discussing what to call it, whether we should call it a classic, a pro, you know, what is this thing, what makes sense? You know, we knew this is the super, you know, it's just a new generation, but should we call it pro? Should we call it classic? What should we call it? Well, actually light came about because we actually built some prototype sets and we put them on the scale, and they are astonishingly lightweight, especially compared to, you know, what you could consider the, I guess, market standard. I mean, if the market standard is 7 to 7.5 pounds for an 18-foot carbon fiber pole, and that's a true weight. That's literally, like, we have traded in sets of outriggers here in the shop that are manufactured by other companies, and they are truly 7 to 7.5 pounds despite being carbon fiber. And you can hear in, you know, the tone of my voice, I get a bit passionate about this because this is sort of why we started the company. We made outriggers the way we thought that outriggers could be made from carbon fiber to save the weight, to get the extra length, to save on wear and tear on your mounts, on your top, on your boat, to fish better. But an 18-foot aluminum pole weighs 7.5 to 8 pounds. So now you have a carbon fiber product on the market that's 18 feet and it weighs 7.5 pounds. It just doesn't make sense to me. But light titanium, This 18-foot pole weighs 3.5 pounds. That's less than half of some of our competitors. But just to give you a comparison, I think this one was around 4.5 pounds. This one was closer to 4 pounds. You know, speaking in terms of 18 to 19 foot lengths. So you have a 1/2 pound weight savings to go from here to here. And then you save almost another pound by going to here. This does weigh more than these models. This is a very overbuilt outrigger, but the benefits or the trade-off you get in return for that increased weight are phenomenal. That it still is less weight than anything else on the market. This 21 footer, this happens to be a 21 footer sitting here at the moment, 6.5 pounds. So it's a full pound less than the competitor's 18-foot pole. So we think the weight increase is acceptable for what you're getting in return. So I'll go ahead and show you some more features of the XT. Here's a set that's been assembled. And one big feature of the XT is that it is disassemblable. The LT is disassemblable as well. But our former models were not disassemblable. They were permanently fixed length. So going back to this set of XTs here, you can see where this interface of sections has a titanium trim ring protecting the end of the carbon fiber tube. So again, this laminated structure, and we've come here and we've capped it with titanium. That helps with long-term durability tremendously. This section inserts in to the larger section, and it connects with 2 screws through these pieces of hardware. We call them grommets, but they are machined titanium as well. And this is a grade 5 titanium screw. So it may appear to be small. It may appear, you know, like, wow, that's pretty, you're gonna hold this outrigger with just those screws? Well, yes, because grade 5 titanium is about 4 times the strength of 316 stainless. But not cheap. You know, this is a top tier product. You know, no expense was spared. We're literally approaching the design of this, you know, I think a year and a half, 2 years ago. We approached it with the same design goal as this original, where we didn't care what it cost. We wanted to build the best outrigger that we could. So in a way, I'm happy to explain everything about this XT, and I don't want to make it sound like an apology for everything that's going on, but I'm also proud of us sort of getting back to our roots of saying, hey, you know what? We don't care what anybody else is doing. We don't care what anybody else has to charge, what the price point is. We're going to make the best outrigger. But again, we understand that's not for everybody. So we have a mid-tier product as well. But back to the top tier. The XT is 3 sections. Got a top section, a middle section, and you got a base section. Your base section has a butt that interfaces inside of it, and the bushing system there we go, we're focused now. The bushing system has threaded holes every 45 degrees. So you'll get this out of the box. It's pre-drilled to fit various mounts. You slip an adapter sleeve onto that, You're already engaging with your mounts the way you need. And you simply insert, and you've got your grade 5 titanium screws that lock your pole into place. So the really cool thing, one of the coolest features, other than the increase in performance, is this outrigger's twist angle is going to be dictated by how these screws are installed here. I'll give you a closer up here of what's happening. Got a logo, you got a serial number. But not only can the entire pole's twist angle be changed based on how you've installed your butt section or your base, you have the independent adjustability with how you install your middle section and your top section. So how do we internally rig these? How is this happening? Well, here's your entry. We're already in the middle section. Here's your short exit. This is a triple halyard pole. Here's your medium exit. Here's your long exit. That's your tip. So your lines will come in to be strong. Here's a point where they'll push through the bushing that's part of this piece and continue down the pole. Your other lines will likewise enter in, continue down the pole, and all your lines will come out of this pole right here. These are our entry points. Machined titanium. No rivets, no fasteners. There's no disassembly required to be able to string these poles. They're basically wide open. If I can get a focus here. They're basically wide open. When you've got lines inside, you can reach in with a piece of single strand wire that you bend, or a pick, or an Allen key, and just pull the lines out. No disassembly of anything. Here's a close-up look of how the bushing works. So this is the piece that's fit inside, and you have your screws interfacing through the exterior into this bushing. Again, if you need these to point back at your baits, you've got all these options to change your twist angle. If you want to point this section down straight at the water, and you want to come up here with your long exits, or your medium and your long, and you want to point them back at the bait, whichever, respectively port or starboard, you can do that as well. If you want to point them in up into the sky, you could do that. But the point is, the adjustability is there, and the entire pole twist angle does not have to be dictated based off what you've set your base at. So how strong are they? The age-old question, how stiff is it? How strong is it? Well, so far in testing these new XT riggers, the poles are no longer the weak point. The weak point that we have found has been bolt-in mounts that are currently on the market. So we have a design here that exceeds the force loading that bolt-in mounts can withstand. Everything's American made, everything's lifetime warranted. As always, if you have any other questions for us, just give us a call or an email. Thanks again for watching.